Hello and welcome to Out Nerdy. I'm Paul and it has been a minute or two. So, straight in, let's talk about Echo. So, 5 episodes long for this season, which is a bit rubbish really. What worked? What didn't work? 5 episodes was weird because the last episode felt really rushed because you had to do everything then. The first episode was 43 minutes, I think, something along them lines. And the first 30 minutes was a recap, either from the Hawkeye show or just general origin story, which is both good and bad, because the show presumes, I think, for the most part, that you just didn't bother watching Hawkeye, or like me, you don't remember anything that happened in it. So, we get the origin story. I didn't mind that too much. I'm going to delve in first for what I do like. I actually quite liked that instead of it being generic Native American, we got an actual tribe. And possibly a tribe that not many people outside of America know about. So that was nice. It was great learning about some of their culture, their past and their origin story. And it may very well be true. It may very well be matriarchal in structure. After all, women give life. Women create life. So I can get on board with it to an extent. But a lot of it was girl boss, current day thinking of women. But I did like, showing us that bit. It was something new for me as an outsider. Right? Because I'm not American, obviously. I also enjoyed Vincent D'Onofrio's portrayal of Kingpin. He was just as bloody, just as violent as he was in the Netflix show. And that was encouraging to see, because a lot of people obviously thought Disney's going to screw him up. And, after what happened in Hawkeye, where she got the better of him quite easily, you can understand people's apprehension and anxiety about that. So I enjoyed them two things. They were actually quite interesting. And like I said, the Kingpin aspect was surprising because it is Disney. I know it was rated 16 and it kept saying mature content, but I did enjoy it. It was good. I was also very glad Daredevil was only in it for about 30 seconds. I'm not going to lie. The fight scene wasn't great. We've all seen it. Could they have done it better? I mean, I don't know how long they had to film. I know she fell pregnant through either for reshoots or during the show itself. I'm not sure on that. But I'm glad he was only in it so they can't ruin him like they did in that crap fucking. See, I can't even. Hulk shit. She-Hulk. I'm glad they didn't do that. So, and he was possibly the only guy in it who they had to treat with a bit of respect. I know I'm not preaching much of what I liked, but what I did like, I liked, and, it's just a shame, like I said, especially with the Native American bit that, like I said, maybe it is it's very more of a matriarchal society. I don't know. But it was nice to see what we got before they put any possible messaging into it. So that's what I liked. Now, what I didn't like could possibly go on for quite a while. But I'll keep it as short as I can. So basically, this is, if we were to use current day language, it's a revenge trip, really. If it was John Wick or something like that, it'd be a male revenge fantasy. Well, this is a female revenge fantasy. But here's the thing, the difference. John Wick, we know he's a villain. We only sympathise with John Wick because they kill his puppy. If they did a prequel about John Wick being the assassin, there's no way on earth we could root for him. Yes? John Wick knows he's not a good person. He accepts his possible death in, John Wick 4. This is another typical Disney show where the female protagonist, or any character for that matter, is bad. She's a murderer. As Kingpin says, you knew what you was doing at every turn. He didn't hide anything from her. She saw him beat a guy to a pulp. And then joined in and gave him a bit of a, kick herself. So, once again, we've got Disney setting a terrible example. Now, I don't care if she was done wrong, right? The way it seems to be, if he hadn't have killed her father, she'd still be working for Kingpin. She'd still be bad. It's only, but we're supposed to be, her father wasn't a good man by all accounts. From what we've seen, he's working for a criminal enterprise. Yeah? He may not have been the hitman or anything, but he was in this enterprise. So that was disappointing. Because I think they had the basis of a good story somewhere. They could have had anything where, now we're told that they're hunting her, but we don't see that, obviously. They come looking, the only reason they come to Oklahoma, to the reservation, I suppose, is because she's grassed up by somebody else. It would have been nice more to have seen her more of the victim rather than what we got. If we'd have saw her get some beatings, get her constantly being chased and on the run, we might, as the audience, have been able to develop some sympathy for her. But we didn't really get that. So I couldn't buy into the story. And it's not the actress's fault, because, Disney, Marvel, whatever, Marvel, Star Wars, don't matter, does it anymore? They have a history of making female protagonists not take the consequences for their actions. Oh, we get this horrible, horrible line where after the two of them are reacquitted because she thinks she killed him, but obviously she don't. A terrible line where she says, he offered her everything she wants. And she says, we've had a kingpin, now it's time for a queen pin. Come on. You couldn't have come up with any better lines than that. And while we're at it, other than Daredevil and Hawkeye, because you get flashback to when he kills her father. Or when, a father set up for Hawkeye to kill. But you get what I'm saying? Every man in it is either stupid or subservient. And every white character, and there's not many in, and that's fine. But once again, every white character has to be stupid or mildly racist. It's a shitty trope. Right? Stop it now. Because most of your audience, whether you like it or not, are going to be white. Just because you had, a whole tribe of Native Americans in there, and I do hope they were all from that specific tribe as well, because otherwise that's breaking Disney's rules. But let's just get rid of the men being stupid, subservient, or always evil. I'm sure if Jeremy Renner was fit and healthy, they'd have had him back to somehow shit on Hawkeye even more. I am certain of that. I really am. I'm certain they would have tried to have Daredevil become shit again, but they can't because they've got a show coming out at some point. But I'm sure they would have tried to shit on him. But they didn't because they couldn't, I suppose. So she goes back home, she gets grassed up, and then we just have some quite, I want to say good scenes, but I can't. The action was not great. Now, I don't know whether, like I said, whether that's because she's pregnant, she's not physically capable, or they just don't have the time to train them properly. If you watch any other stuff, be it Warrior or The Brother's Son even on Netflix right now, which is actually quite good so far, the action and fight scenes are all generally one take, like some of this has been in Echo. But it looks a lot better. It looks like shots are landing. You know, whether they're more experienced with the camera or not, I don't know. But it's a bit of a drawback. But anyway, the whole point of it is she's trying to, I suppose you could argue, she's trying to kill that, she's trying to take over. And that's before she knows he's still alive. Right? Meanwhile, when she goes back into town, she's trying to avoid everyone in her past. And you could, if they'd have took the time to develop this situation and the relationships, you'd understand. But not once is she avoiding them because of the person she's become. She's just, all she keeps saying is, I'm passing through. I'm just there on work, on business, whatever. Now, if it had been because she felt some shame and that, you know, she felt like she disgraced herself and the people she loved, that would have been an excellent, excellent bargain. An excellent talking point for people, where she has to atone for the people that she's put in danger. And she does put them in danger. But we don't get it. So we just have, you know, Kingpin comes, they're about to get killed, and he makes a phone call, calls it off. He comes to visit her, and he tells her the story of his father. Now he kills him because he's an awful bully. Right? The father, that is. But also Kingpin becomes that guy, doesn't he? But, you know, he calls it off because he wants to mend bridges. I know I've seen some reviews where it said because he wants her to kill him. But I don't think it is that. He's just, you know, I think he's just trying to do anything he can to get the relationship back, because I'm not really sure when this is set, right? Because we do, like I said during the Hawkeye review, it's post snap at that point, so everyone's back. So where the frick is Spider-Man in New York City? You know, but anyway, that annoyed me in Hawkeye. It still bugs me now. Maybe they just didn't have the budget, you know, to quote Deadpool. So he wants to bring things back to how they weren't, offers a, you know, place by his side as at the table, so to speak. So I'm wondering, this must be, well, we know it's in the Netflix Daredevil universe, it's canon. So obviously it's after Wesley's been killed, you'd imagine, because that was the nearest thing to family that he seemed to have. So it all, you know, he calls off the bad guys. He gives her the choice. She says no. And so for the big final showdown is he gets his crew to attack a powwow. I'm not making it up. That's what it is. It says it, you know, Choctaw Native powwow, you know, for people to come watch them do traditional dances and whatnot. I don't know. I'm not Native American. So they have a final battle. And here's what gets me. Right? All the way throughout, she's got some tie to the ancient ones who came first. I don't know. Goddesses. I don't know. But she develops magical bullshit powers. Now, I don't mean to offend anybody in this tribe who this is true, right? But there's, the only explanation is she can trace her ancestry back to the first one, and that her mother was a healer. Blah blah blah. So she gets a suit that her grandmother makes, puts it on, and instead of her winning through actual, her mother comes back as an image, a force ghost, I don't know, and tells her what she is. She has courage, guile, intelligence. She's able to outsmart people. I mean, it's just an affirming session, really, telling her how wonderful and great she is. Like these shows tend to be, and that it's boring by now, but that's what they have to do, isn't it? Because it's middle-aged women who don't have any real experience of life, so they just need to keep being told how fantastic they are. So Echo has to realise how fantastic she is, and she develops magical bullshit powers, and she's able to transfer her power to her friends via the ghosts of women past. And I didn't like that, because you could have had any other thing. You could have had her training, her dedication, her discipline, her skill at arms, her skill at hand-to-hand combat. Anything could have done it. But it had magical bullshit powers. In the Marvels, it was black girl magic. In this, it's Native American girl magic. Right? It doesn't work. And to me, and it's just to me, I don't know if anyone else has mentioned this, that's a direct rip-off from the last episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where she uses her power to make every girl a potential slayer. That's what that is. That, to me only, unless other people have seen it, this is a direct rip-off from that. So she uses magical bullshit powers. She gets into Kingpin's head, takes him back to that moment, and I think she's told she has love in her, and I think she's doing it as a way of trying to free him from the pain that he's in, which could be good. So I think that's what that scene was, but obviously it doesn't work, and he gets out of there somehow, and jobs are good, and she goes meets him for a beer or whatever. But no consequences. No. She's got a past she should have to deal with, and we don't see her struggle with that past. It's just, oh, you're awesome. Why are you giving these examples of womanhood to potentially young girls? We saw it in She-Hulk, where, I can't remember her character's name. She was a terrible woman. She slept around, she drank, she belittled people. Especially Bruce, even though some people try and defend. No, she didn't. Yes, she fucking did. That was the first time I swore in this, I think. Anyway. I think it could have had promise if they'd have done more of a redemption route for her. Yes, she had to save her friends a few times, but that was only because she put them in danger in the first place. Now, it would have been better to have had a redemptive arc, but we never got it. Of course we didn't. It's current Disney. Women are awesome. Women can never do wrong. We saw it in this. We saw it in She-Hulk. We saw it in Falcon and Winter Soldier. We saw it in the awful Black Widow film. We've seen it time and time again now. Men are stupid or subservient, and women are awesome. And women are awesome. Some men are subservient. Some men are awesome. Let's have a bit of balance. Anyway, that's it for me. I can't say, I'm not going to tell you to watch it or not watch it. But I would say, is give it a go. If you like it, like it. I mean, I'm not here to tell you what you can and cannot like. Right? You pay for Disney Plus by whatever means, don't you? You know, for me, it's not something that I'd ever watch again. It's not something I would encourage as an example for young girls or teenage girls. It's not. It's just a shame. I think this could have had some potential. It could have had some potential. But current Disney just, I don't think they've got it in them to make anything good. I mean, yes, your Twitter mob will fucking love it. Your Twitter mob and your Reddit and your Instagram people, they'll be all for it. Right? They've probably never watched it. But they'll love it because it's a Native American disabled deaf chick. You know? With one leg. And they'll love it be like, oh, the leg, by the way. How long have I rambled on for? Fucking quite a bit now. 21 minutes. Jesus. Anyway, the leg, very quickly, before we go. Was it a bionic leg? Because shit, she could kick. I mean, she had to kick like a donkey with that leg. She was able to jump, you know, from freight cars on trains, from cars onto trucks, with that leg. I mean, that was some I don't know if that was bionic, but or S.H.I.E.L.D. gave it to her, or it was stolen S.H.I.E.L.D. tech, fucking, you know, something for Iron Man if ever he needed it. But that was some bionic shit, that was. Anyway, that's it for me. Bye.